Ferdinand or Piero or Martin, but you played Bukayo in sort of more central areas. Is that something you've been looking to try, and how did you think it worked?
Yeah, that's something that's a possibility, and I wanted to try it, and we might use it in the future. So still so many games, competitions, and different scenarios to play in the season, and that's a possibility that we have. Yeah.
Staying with Arsenal, we have some breaking news to bring you, and it regards Bukayo Saka's future. Sky Sports News understands Bukayo Saka has signed a new 5-year contract that will keep him at Arsenal until 2031. Saka's previous deal was due to expire in the summer of 2027. Sky Sports News reported last month that he and Arsenal had agreed an extension in principle, while Saka has now put pen to paper, though Arsenal have yet to officially confirm this new agreement.
Right, let's just highlight how rare it is for Saka to be playing centrally. Here are his percentage of minutes played by position. This is across his Premier League career, going back to his Premier League debut on New Year's Day 2019. Now, when he came through, he played sometimes in midfield, but a lot of the time as well, he came through as a starter at left-back. Remember those days? 6% of his time on the field was spent at left-back during his Arsenal Premier League career so far. He has obviously grown to become one of the best wingers in Europe on that right-hand side. But does his skill set also translate to playing number 10? There it is there, highlighted. Just 1% of his minutes played in the Premier League have been from that position. We have to rewind the clock to 2021 to have a look at him starting at number. He's involved in the move that almost creates an opportunity. The ball comes across the box and eventually cleared position, something that he will have to use going forward. Lets the ball run across his body here, and he's away at the back 4 or back 5 of Sheffield United. Lacazette has the ball, plays it back into Saka, but he can't quite convert into a shot. That match at Bramall Lane, by the way, was actually game week 31 of that Premier League season. So what I've done is I've collated all the players to receive passes between the lines from game week 31, just to see where Bukayo Saka ranked. He was actually one of the top performers that game week. Neil Maupay of Brighton, top of the list, alongside Kelechi Iheanacho as well. The Chelsea pair back then of Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic next on the list. Bukayo Saka's there with 10 passes received between the lines, actually ahead of Bruno Fernandes that game week as well, showing a little bit of quality from that number 10 position. Mikel Arteta also talked about getting Saka closer to goal. So might he, playing in that position of number 10, getting himself a little bit closer to goal, help with a scoring run, because he's currently on the longest run without a goal in his career at 15 appearances? Would a change of position then generate a bigger goal-scoring return for Bukayo Saka? Matt, what do you think? Could it be something long-term? Could it be something just to help Arsenal with injuries at the moment? What do you think?
Probably looking at his attributes as a footballer, you can play him anywhere across the front line. Listening to his manager there, Arteta, talk about he's closer to the goal when he receives the ball in central areas. I understand that. He's intelligent. A lot of the clips you've shown there where he's dropping or he's standing still, which is a tough thing to do as a footballer. Knowing that you're going to create space just by standing still, it's hard. But he's clever enough to do that. Look, we know how wonderful he can receive the ball out wide, come in on his left foot and curl one in the top corner. We've seen it so many times, whether that be playing for England or whether that be playing in the Premier League for Arsenal. But do I look at him now and go, could he play that position? Most definitely. He has all of the key attributes you would want from a player. He receives the ball really well under pressure. He can wriggle in tight spaces. He's got constant awareness of what's around him. He can play bounce passes. What I like is, because he has that forward-thinking mentality on a pitch, he will give it and try and get the other side of players as well. You're difficult to mark when you play that position well. I think the problem has been previously as a number 10, not necessarily with him, is that it used to be a luxury position. It's a position ultimately on a football pitch where you are judged by goals and assists. That's it. His numbers won't be where and aren't where he wants them to be this season. Therefore, does this give him an opportunity, if his manager chooses to use him in that position, to get his numbers back to where he wants to? Yes, it does. Yeah, and you touched on a point actually that's just occurred to me around him cutting inside and shooting. Goals from outside the box. I think Saka's got 5 goals from outside the box across his Premier League career.
of Arsenal in the Premier League, the only current player to have more goals from outside the box is Martin Ødegaard. And certainly when I looked about a month or so ago, we've seen the share of goals from outside the box going up. I don't know whether that's come down in the last couple of weeks or not, but when I last looked, it was certainly going up. And I just wonder whether that's an extra weapon, because a lot of managers are talking about how do we break down low blocks, teams sitting on the edge of their own penalty area, and another weapon that Saka has is being able to shoot and score from outside the box, and getting him into those positions seems like a great idea.
I think it's utilising the players that you've got at your disposal. That's what good managers do. We're not, aware of all the conversations that Arteta has with his players. This might have been something they've spoken about for the last 2 or 3 months, and it just happens to be that with an injury that we've gone, right, we're going to put you in there, Saka, and we're expecting you to do X, Y and Z. Look, football can be that simple at times, but I look at him, he's an outstanding footballer, outstanding receiver of the ball, always wants to score goals, always wants to get shots off. But also, if you look at his career, he's a good assist maker as well. So, look, he has every attribute to play there. Whether or not he continues to play there, well, that will be up to him, because you get given an opportunity as a footballer to play. Whether he keeps that shirt won't be down to anything other than himself and performing. But look, Arsenal have got phenomenal options at the top of the pitch. You touched on it. Most teams, when they play Arsenal, get themselves in a mid to a low block. When that happens, invariably the gaps between the units you're talking about become condensed. Therefore, you might need a number 10 to break a line from deep and get beyond the back players. Or it might be the lines are condensed, but he can receive the ball in there because that's the skill that he has. Arsenal need to start winning games. We're aware